Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I miss you guys so much. A lot's been going on this week. I know I always say that like every week. I'm like, oh my god, so much happened. Like, y'all really don't know. Like, there's so much going on behind the scenes. What was I gonna say? But yeah, by the title of this video, you guys, is definitely a crazy one. I'm filming in my car right now because I've just been like on the go. Especially I'm at work. So I was like, yeah, let me just sit like in the car. So yeah, the title of this video is definitely crazy. Definitely, I think it's like a fun one, whatever, you know, like, I haven't did a story time in a minute. So I was like, let me go ahead and do like a story time video because I know all you guys love my story times. Okay. So in the story time, so I was working at Twin Peaks at the time, and yeah, I was just over here flirting around, like just I think I was a host at the time. I think I was a hostess. So I was a hostess at the time, just going around talking, flirting with these guys and just, you know, stuff like that. So, I think the server got busy, so she told me to help her. So I went over to this table and I greeted him, I talked to him, everything like that. So, in a way, so what was I going to say? I'm not going to tell you guys what he did for a living. Oh my God, so embarrassing. So I'm not gonna tell you guys like what he did for a living because I feel like if I do, y'all are gonna know who he is. So basically, all I'm going to say, he was definitely a very professional man, very successful, very well made. We're just going to leave it at that. So he basically was there with his daughter, and then, yeah, it was just him and his daughter. And so I was just talking to him. He was talking to me. He was definitely way older. Like, I think he's like in his late 40s, early 50s. But yeah, we were just talking. He really liked my energy. I'm very like just spontaneous, very just enthusiastic, very sassy, sarcastic, stuff like that. I was very playful. I had a lot of playful energy and he really liked it. So his daughter over here was just, you know, talking to me too. I was just talking over her too, you know. Yeah, so after that happened, I want to say like later on, I was just over here talking to other guys. I was just like flirting around and stuff like that. So he offered me a job, you guys. So I was like, he was like, how much do you make here? And I was like, I think I'm getting like blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, well, I'll double that. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He was like, come to my job or come to my company tomorrow or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. He wanted like a kind of like an assistant. That's what he was looking for, an assistant. That's what he wanted. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And so I gave him my number, he gave me his, and then he tipped me. He ended up tipping me, you guys. He didn't even tip her, the server. He ended up tipping me like $50. I was like, damn, okay. So I was like, all right, cool. And then he was like, there's more where that came from. And I was like, okay. And so after that happened, so me and his daughter, because his daughter was like the same age as me. And so we ended up being friends. And then we were talking about Faces, like the gay club, everything like that. Faces is like a really popping gay club in Sacramento. So we were just like, I was like, yeah, girl, let's go out, you know, whatever. It never happened. But, you know, she was really cool and she really liked me. So, what happened? So after that, we went to, I want to say later that day, he ends up calling me, you guys. So I get off work. It's like late. I get off work. I was on the phone, like in the parking lot, like talking to him. We're gonna call him Tyler. So I'm on the phone to call Tyler. He calls me and I'm like, hello. He was like, hey. He was like, you know, for the job interview for tomorrow, like you're gonna be there, right? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, cool. He was like, yeah, like, you know, or I think he said for me to call him. I'm sorry. I think that he said for me to call him. And so I ended up calling him when I got off work. And then he basically was like, yeah, he was like, okay, so like, talk to me, tell me about yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, about like my work ethics. He was like, no, like, let's just talk. Like, I'm really chill, easygoing guy. And in my mind, I was like, I was really getting the vibe that like, I really thought like he was really looking for an assistant, you know, but this guy wanted like an assistant with benefits, if you know what I mean. So, but at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I was just being a little Miss Daisy over here, don't know what the hell was going on type thing. So, I was like, yeah, like, I like to go to the beach. I like to go out with my girlfriends. I like to go to the club, turn up. Like, basically, I was just doing the most, like, over the phone. And then he was just like, he just started laughing. He was like, I like you. Like, you're funny. Like, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then, so, he was telling me that, like, his assistant, like, he had to fire her because she basically wasn't doing her job. Like, she like, she wasn't scheduling people. Like, there was days where she didn't even come in to work. And then, like, he went to, so, like, she wanted these jeans and they were like $1,000. I've even never heard of no $1,000 jeans. But he said that him and his assistant, the only problem was I was in school at the time, you guys, so I would not have been able to travel with him. But he was saying that, like, he pays for his assistant's plane tickets. Like, he pays for everything for her. And all she has to do is just be his assistant, you know? So, like, there's, like, was traveling involved. And then, like, also, too, like, just a lot of stuff like that. So, I was just like, oh, my God. So, he basically was saying, too, that, like, he took his assistant. They were out traveling to this place out of state. And then in the mall was, what was I going to say at the mall? She wanted these $1,000 jeans or whatever. So she was like, dang, like, I wish, like, one day I'm going to get these jeans. And then he was like, you know what? He said, I'm going to bless you today. And bought her them. He bought her two $1,000 jeans. So he paid $2,000 plus tax for them jeans. So I was like, he was just over here telling me stuff. And then he said around the holidays, he be getting everybody, like, Louis Vuitton handbags and, like, name brand, like, really, like, Gucci bags and, like, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, okay, Zaddy. I didn't call him Zaddy, but, you know, in my mind, I was like, okay, Zaddy. I was over here playing, like, okay, that's cool. But in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm finna get this money. So, yeah, so he basically was talking. So the next day, he said, like, let's go out for lunch. He said, meet me for lunch. And, yeah, he was like, we'll go out for lunch and I'm going to take you to my friend's restaurant, you know? So I was like, all right, bet. So the next day, y'all, I didn't even dress to impress for that assistant job. This is what I wore. I wore some ripped jeans and I wore a crop top. That's what I wore. And then it was a crop tank top. And then I did my hair and makeup. And that's what I did. And so, because I already kind of felt where this was going. So, you know, I come, you know, and of course, we go to his friend's restaurant or whatever. This man owned a Greek restaurant, y'all. The restaurant was nice. I really liked it. The waiter was cute. He came, and so I was just like, okay. So we was just talking it up. He was like, this is my new hire. This is my assistant, whatever. I was like, oh, hi. And so, yeah, so he over here wanted me to take a picture with him or something like that. Y'all, I will put the picture in. If I still have the picture, I will put the picture in, but, yeah, so, what was I gonna say? So, yeah, so we was at this restaurant. We was eating the Greek food. It was really good. It was really different. It was definitely something different that I've never really had before. Because I think it was like, they had like, it was like this spinach with like meat inside of it. And then, oh, the yogurt. I know the Greek food, there's a lot of like yogurt. But it's not even like the sugary, fruity yogurt. It's like straight like sour. So, and then there's a lot of rice and, you know, and veggies and stuff like that. Oh, I'm kind of hungry and I kind of want some Greek food. But anyway, but that's the story. So yeah, so we're just sitting there. I was just like chilling. We were just laughing, you know, stuff like that. And then, so after that, the owner of the restaurant wanted a picture with me and I was like, okay. I was a little creeped out, but, cause he was definitely an older man. So yeah, that's that picture. If I find out, I'm gonna put the picture in. So, so yeah, so after that, we go back to his place. I wish I could tell y'all what he did for a living, y'all, but I just feel like y'all are gonna figure out. I feel like he's very Googleable, so yeah, I'm not about to do all that. So basically, we go back to his office. I'm sitting here talking to him. He's over here talking to me. I will admit that he is a psychologist too. So he is also a psychologist. So he was over here playing like psychological games with me and stuff like that. That's one thing I didn't like about him, is that he did play a lot of, like, he will try to flip it and try, like, he will try to use his psychology work, and then he'll try to like do his psychology thing on me. Like, I'll just ask him straight up. I said, is this an interview, or is this like something, like, or what are you asking? Like, do you want something more out of this? Like, what do you want? And so he just said, like, whatever you want it to be, or, oh no, I don't, he tried to flip it on me, trying to make it sound like I was crazy. So basically I kind of got a little uncomfortable. I was just telling him, I was like, is this like really an interview, or is this like, I don't know what this is. And then he was just saying like, oh, no. He's like, no, this is an interview. Like, I'm really chill back. I'm laid back. But my woman's intuition was telling me like, no, like, he wants, this ain't no, like, this. I was like, I even told him, I said, I've never had an interview like this before. And where he was just talking to me, like, getting to know me. But at the same time too, like, he was over here taking me out to lunch, and like, he was also doing like, he was doing the most. Like, he was over here giving me money. Like, he was giving me like $100 just to like meet him for a couple of hours. I don't know. Like, and then like the way he would just talk to me, it's just like he wanted to know my personal life. Like, it wasn't even like work. He didn't even ask me like, oh, like, what do you, like, how would you handle if, you know, this happened? Like, it was none of that, y'all. So I told him, I said, I can't do the traveling thing, but I can, I can work here at this office. And so I met the other girl that he picked up. She was a waitress too. And so he picked her up, y'all, and like was talking to her, or like she wasn't working at no Hooter place, but like he picked her up too. And then she ended up running the whole office thing. And then he showed me where my office was going to be. So I was like, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, y'all, like, this was crazy. But anyways, the girl, she was really rude. She was not approachable at all. Like, I already felt the energy. Like, he even told her where I was coming from. And then she's even like, oh, nice. And I was like, girl, don't do me like that. Don't judge me. I was like, what? Because I was working at a Hooters place. Like, Twin Peaks is like a Hooters. I was like, girl, don't do that. I didn't say nothing. I was just keep it cute, you know. Hi. But in my mind, I was like, girl, I'm about to watch. I was like, you intimidated. I already know. So, yeah, so after that, so I go back to his office, meet him, we're talking or whatever. And then he basically, he was like, what happened? He was like, so I am planning a trip to San Francisco. He was like, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I was like, okay, I'm down. I was like, am I going to get paid? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So we were driving around in his car. He had a nice Mercedes-Benz, y'all. Ooh. I shouldn't have been saying like what kind of car he drive. But yeah, it was a Mercedes-Benz. And it was like a really nice one. And so we just get in the car. He said, yeah, you could take my car around and drive it if you want to with you and your girlfriends and go shopping with. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. And I was like, nah. This is something more than just work relation things or whatever. So I basically couldn't take it anymore, because I can feel like he was hinting at like things, but I just was not saying it. So I just asked him straight up. I was like, is this like a assistant with benefit type thing? So he started busting up laughing, y'all. Like, he started busting up laughing. So I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. And I said, I'm not like that either. And then he just started laughing. He was just like, well, he said, you know, I don't know, like, I wasn't trying to be all like that, but I mean, if you okay with that, you know. I was like, no, like, I'm asking you because I feel like you've been like hinting and subliminal and all that stuff. So he basically was like, well, he's like, well, if you want, I mean, if you want to go, I mean, I understand. And then I was like, well, I really needed the money, y'all. So I was like, you know what? I was like, so are you looking for like a sugar baby? Like, what are you looking for? And then he basically was like, yeah, he was like, no, I ain't trying to be no sugar daddy, none of that or whatever. But I was like, you over here giving me money, like you taking me out to eat. Like I felt like I was in an arrangement, like a sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship, but platonic. That's what it felt like to me. And so basically for years, y'all. So okay, wait. So before we talk about that, so basically I was just really nice. So I was like, I was like, yeah, I was like, okay. So later that day, he ended up giving me $100, you guys. Oh, by the way, I didn't go to San Francisco or anything like that, but he did give me the $100. He gave me another $100, and then I got in my car, and then I drove up. So he over here texting me and all this stuff. So I just told him straight up. I said, I'm transgender, by the way. And then he literally was like, damn. He was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And then he ended up telling me, I forgot, but he worked with transgender people, which I didn't even know. So, yeah, so, he ended up being like understanding and stuff like that. But like, y'all, he did not want to, like, he did not hire me anymore for the job. Like, I remember he would just sit here, play games like, oh, I kind of realized I don't really need help anymore like that, So I was like, whatever. And so we didn't talk anymore for a good like couple months. And then he hit me up saying like, hey, how are you? And I was like, what do you want? And he was like, oh, well, you know, I care about you and stuff. And it turns out, y'all, me and him, we actually know this chick. And it's so funny because this chick don't even live around here. She basically is like a famous webcam model or whatever. And how I know her is that I used to work retail, and she would come in all the time and buy heck of stuff. And like, I remember I would always like help pick her things out and stuff like that. So me and her ended up becoming friends and stuff like that. And I didn't even know like I didn't even know what a webcam model was. I didn't even know anything about that. And what a webcam model is, you guys, is that, it's like basically like being a stripper, but online on the internet. And she worked for this cam site and everything like that. So that's basically what a webcam model is. And girls be making like thousands a week doing that. And so, yeah, so me and him, ooh, it's getting dark, y'all. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, anyways. But, basically, what was I saying? But yeah, so basically, I think I was telling him about a story, because me and that girl, we used to hang out all the time, and we had crazy stories together when we would hang out. So I was telling him about the girl, and I was like, yeah, she was like a famous webcam model and stuff like that. And he was like, wait. He was like, what's her name? And then I told him her name, and he was like, nah. He was like, I think I know who you're talking about. And I was like, yeah. Like, I went on Facebook and showed a picture of her to him, and then he started busting up laughing. He was like, dang, he said, that girl used to be my client. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, that is hecka funny. And to be honest, I think for real, I think he was like, because I talked to her, and she was like telling me like, oh yeah, he used to give me money and all this stuff. And I was like, dang. So, basically, and he told me too, he said, swear to God, you're never going to tell her that I know you and you know me. Like, you promised me, right? And I was like, yeah, I won't say nothing. And sure enough, I was like, hey girl, like, do you know this dude? And she's like, yeah, how do you know him? I was like, girl, I met him at the restaurant. She was like, girl, yes. And then, yeah, that's how it all, like, yeah. And then that's how me and him, because we knew her, that's how me and him kind of got, like, we started, like, really, like, talking as friends and stuff. And then, what was I saying? So after that, for years, you guys, me and him, we just started like just talking. We were just like really good friends. And then after I had got the whole like sex change surgery thing or whatever, then now all of a sudden he want to like try to pursue me and all that stuff. I was like, first of all, you way too old for me. I said, no offense, I'm not being rude, but like I'm really not. No, because you try to cut me off after I told you I was trans and all that. And then now that I got the little section, now you want to try to pursue me? I was like, no, it don't work that way. But every time when I would go see him, y'all, he would give me $100. There was times too, like, it just depended on how generous he was. Like, there was times I walked, after I got done, like, hanging out with him, he would give me, like, $200. And then it would go to, like, 150, 180, 100. Like, it just ranged. But, yeah, he told me, too. He said, I'll always have your back. He said, I really love you. And, like, yeah. And And definitely, yeah. And then like also too, I think I went to his house, like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, we were just talking. You know, he's really involved with his family and or his grandchild and all that. But yeah, every time I see him, he give me money. So I was like, all right, cool. And you know, but he don't be taking me out on trips and like, what else? He don't take me out on trips. He don't do none of that. But I mean, yeah, but if I'm hungry, want food, or he pay my gas when I go out there to see him, stuff like that. And he give me my money, so I guess that's like a sugar daddy story time. Definitely, I don't condone, I don't, you know, get it how you get it, but it's really getting dark. Oh God, this is bad. I'm sorry, y'all, the quality of this video may not be the best, but get it how you live. I'm not knocking anybody, but yes, I guess I've had a sugar daddy before. Definitely. But yeah, so definitely, if you guys have any more video ideas of what videos y'all want to see, let me know in the comment down below. But definitely, y'all, this was my crazy story time, my sugar daddy story time that didn't know I was trans, but then knew I was trans, and then like we're actually still like good friends to this day. So it's like really crazy. But yeah, definitely don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay magical.